Hey everyone, and welcome to the Delta+Juliet show, where healing meets humor and a good drink.
And we're your hosts, Delta and Juliet, and we're here to share stories about the beautiful, messy journey of mental health and healing. Ours, our guests, and maybe even yours someday.
This show is all about building a community. We like to call it the crew, because nobody should have to navigate life's storms alone. So grab your drink and join us.
And whether that's with a cocktail in hand, or a cup of tea, or just a sense of curiosity, and remember, we believe that adventure is healing. So you'll hear us talk about overlanding, nature, and lessons we've learned along the way.
We also like to keep things real around here. That means tough topics, honest conversation, and maybe a few curse words. Definitely a few curse words. So consider this your heads up.
Some episodes might not be suitable for kids, so pop in your headphones if little ears are nearby. Now let's dive in and get started.
Okay. Can I open this bottle of wine? I don't know. Yeah. Jeez. What the fuck? Oh, okay, there we go. I love me some twist-offs.
Hey crew.
What's
Welcome
up?
back.
Oh, I should probably try it first before I like pour
You do
the
you.
whole-
Well, it is tiki season again.
It'll chooch. Well, it kind of burns. It's got like a...
I don't think wine is supposed to burn. You mean like a spice to it?
It's like a peppery in the back of my throat.
I'll give you some pepper in the bag here.
I wouldn't buy this if I had to buy. I'm okay. So I'm pretty sure we got this wine bottle for free at a wine festival.
It's not bad.
You know, it's not the worst, but I don't think I would buy it. I mean, it's cool though. I love the label, like the feel of the label. It's very textury and yes. So it's been a hot minute, but you know what?
We promised it wouldn't be, but you know, life gets in the way.
I think we should stop apologizing because it is what it is.
That's fair.
It is what it is, and we will put out content when we can.
It's not like more than 2 people are watching anyways.
Yeah. So,
What do you... Oh wait, we know you're drinking red wine.
yeah, kind of obvious. No, it's just grape juice.
I made myself a mojito. It looks a little... If it looks a little off, it's because all I had was Demerara syrup, so should be good, even though it doesn't look clear. Oh
It's
wait,
okay.
let's...
It's alcohol, so, you know.
Oh, that's super good.
Is it? Let me try.
I've started adding about a 1/4 ounce of lemon
that is
juice
good.
as well as lime juice in
That's good.
all my mojitos, and somehow it does something to it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we figured we do another Am I the Asshole Reddit before we go into our How You Been
Yeah.
kind of update.
Judging others so we don't have to feel bad right now.
Yeah. All right, so the title is Am I the Asshole for Not Punishing My Son for Making Fun of His Sister for Wetting Her Pants?
I'm going to shoot from the hip here and just jump to yeah.
Okay. My husband, 40-year-old male, and I, 38-year-old female, have 2 amazing kids, 10 male and 7 female. Our son's birthday was a couple of days ago, and the gift he was most excited to receive was the video game Dying Light. I've heard that's good.
Oh, man.
He heard it from a friend and was really excited to try it out. It's a video game about zombies. Who doesn't love zombies? Let's just be real. Zombies are awesome. Today, he was playing the game in our living room when his sister came downstairs, and unfortunately, she walked in during a pretty scary part. I'm pretty sure the entire game is scary from a little kid's perspective.
Yeah.
This part of the video game scared her so bad that she peed her pants.
Oh.
Oh, the poor thing.
I feel you, kid. I was one of those bedwetters when I was a kid.
Oh. When her
Way
brother's...
older than I should have been. A little older than I should have
It's
been.
okay.
It wasn't older than I should have been.
When her brother saw that she had peed her pants, which I guess must have been quite a bit if he noticed, he started laughing at her and said, "Ha ha ha, you peed yourself, you big baby."
How old are these kids?
The boy is 10 and his sister is 7. So
On track.
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Not cool, but makes sense. When her brother saw, oh, blah, 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 whoops. I went in, the mom, and asked what was the matter. She saw...
You went in the mom?
I'm just clarifying who's speaking in the story. You fucking turd face. The mom asked her daughter... Oh, she had saw her daughter wet herself, and I asked her what had happened. She said there was scary monsters in the video game, and her brother was playing, and they were so scary, and she started to cry. I then comforted her and took her upstairs to calm her down. Later, my husband came home from running an errand and asked what happened with our daughter. I explained what happened, and he asked what the punishment I gave our son was, and I told him I didn't punish him. This made my husband very upset. He asked why I thought it was okay for our son to bully his sister. I said I didn't think it was a big deal, but he insisted otherwise.
Well, that's just...
Well, let me finish. My husband has been very upset with me since and claims that I should have punished our son right then. But now, since I didn't, he will look like the bad guy if he punishes him for making fun of his sister after I did nothing. Am I the asshole? And I will say there is an edit to this story, so do you want the edit now or after we discuss?
I want to judge her first.
Okay, let's do it. I'm conflicted. Like,
yeah,
she should at least said something to her son and be
absolutely.
Like, hey, that's not cool. Like, what if you had peed? You know,
oh, I would have given him time out at least.
Yeah, something. It doesn't have to be like this big, like, you know, dramatic thing. But at least
at that age, especially for, we don't have kids. Yeah. But as a 10-year-old boy, at one point in my life, being the one who was always picked on, I can definitely see how the dad would take an opportunity to teach empathy.
Yeah.
And not, because 10-year-old, like, I know everybody says 10-year-old girls or teenage girls are the monsters of the world, which they are.
Yeah. I mean, it just
but
really
10-year-old boys are not that nice. Like, no child at that age understands I am not the center of the earth.
Yeah.
I am the most important thing in everyone's life, is what they I don't know, that just seems like what they learn at that age. Yeah. Or they have not learned to be outside of themselves.
I just think like the fact that a 7-year-old peed herself and it was obvious enough, like that's significant to me. That signals to me like this is beyond like, boo, huh? Oh, I was scared for like a moment. Like she immediately like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm taking it out of context, but I have not known kids to pee themselves if they were scared. So like when I read this, I think...
You have not known? Or have known?
I have not known.
Oh, okay.
Like I can't think of any kids that I've ran into that...
I mean, I've even run into adults that peed themselves when they were scared, but... It depends on like, who they are.
Yeah.
Not who they are, but like sometimes it's like just a little bit and you catch it.
Yeah.
And other times it's like medium, so you kind of see it, and other times it's like everything's out.
Yeah. So when I hear about her, I'm like, wow, that poor thing.
Yeah.
Like she was really even though like we know it's not real. It's not that scary, but like. For her to pee herself.
I definitely would have been the one in her shoes in that situation.
Yeah.
But, like, I couldn't even watch Independence Day as a kid. It scared me to death.
Oh, really?
I love that movie now. But,
I was
just the embarrassment and shame that would have come with, oh, I'm scared, and boom.
And, like, your mom does nothing.
Yeah, it's okay for him to do that. It's okay if they treat me like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe not intentionally, but
I mean,
a
she
bit-
might have seen it as like, oh, he's just being a kid. But
Right.
that's your
Which
opportunity to
usually the parents that say, oh, they're just being kids, or have the kids that are running around your house ripping
Terrible.
expensive shit off the wall
Yeah.
and peeing
Yeah.
in your bedspread.
I agree.
Edit so that I may either feel bad or justified.
Okay, so she posts an update. Okay, I apologize to my husband for letting our son's mean comment slide. I understand that it needs to be addressed. My husband and I are about to have a talk with our son about why what he did was wrong, and he needs to apologize to his sister.
How much time has passed between post
I
and
don't
update?
know.
Because it better be the same day.
So, okay, yes, this was posted 7 hours ago.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so this wasn't the same. And it already got like over 2,000 comments.
And I'm guessing they're all like, you bitch.
Probably. Many of you got the idea. I wanted to just make my husband do that on his own, but no, we're both going to talk to him.
Oh.
And to all the people saying I shouldn't let my son play the game, I mean, you can keep commenting if you want, and I might respond, but my son will still be allowed to play the game.
It's just a game.
Yeah.
Granted, he's 10, that might...
I
At
don't
least for me, that
know.
would have... Back then, I mean, I could barely play GoldenEye back then, but, I mean, you know my parents.
Yeah. I definitely wouldn't allow my kids to play GTA.
Oh, no.
But like a zombie game,
Yeah, you're
I
not
mean, as long as there's like
murking real people out there.
Yeah, as long as there's no like sex or nudity or anything, I like don't care.
You got a weird thing about that. We can murder everyone before kids know what's real or not real, but let's not talk about sex.
No, I'm not saying we don't
Oh.
like. I'm just saying I don't want them to see that. That's what
Well, yeah,
I'm saying. That's the
nobody
limitation.
should-
Yeah.
Right. But also, and
I guess the amount of violence like
I
should
don't...
be.
And I was
tempered.
raised on violence. Like, my parents didn't care. I was raised on Batman. He beats the fuck out of people nightly. But...
Or you could be me and was raised on like watching Aliens and Predator and Jurassic Park.
yeah, I watched those too.
Terminator.
I cried when I watched Jurassic Park. I almost peed myself. But,
I don't know.
like,
I guess it just depends.
yeah. And I guess people were coming out after her for they thought that she was just going to let her husband be the bad guy and not
Yeah.
say anything. But it was more of just a lack of thought in the moment of, oh, I should probably deal with this.
Yeah, people are like, you're the asshole.
Yeah, absolutely.
Huge asshole. YTA.
I mean, I'm not going to say that you intentionally went out of your way and did this, but you done messed up, Ron.
Oh, okay, this comment. You're the asshole. Are you a typical quote unquote boy mom? Because that's the vibe. I have 2 sisters and I'm male. If I did this, my mom would immediately punished me. Kids need to understand boundaries and how to get along with one another. You just sent a message to your daughter that her older brother can do what he wants to her and get away with it. Keep that pattern up and you'll have 2 kids that don't speak to each other when they're older, or for you, for that matter.
I don't know why. Maybe it's just you reading it, but I imagine that amount of sass in his actual voice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Yeah, she definitely should have, like, addressed it. It doesn't need to be, like, a huge punishment, but
No.
definitely, like...
I would say it's less of a boundaries issue in my eyes and more of a take a moment to impart some empathy on someone.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Granted, he's
sure.
10.
Yeah, but
He's not an
again,
asshole by any means.
Right.
Because in movies,
He's
when somebody
still
pees themselves,
learning.
it's a funny moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but he's still learning. It's on you to
Yes.
teach that moment.
Yes,
I would
exactly.
assume.
That's a teachable moment.
Yeah.
And it's up to you, like...
It's one area my parents did not mess up in, is
Really?
not missing out on teachable moments. Decent teachable moments.
Okay.
Not,
Interesting.
yeah.
I mean, that's good. Good
I mean,
for you.
I'm a nice guy.
Speaking of your parents, you don't have to if you don't want to.
No, that's fine. It's fine.
Do you want to talk about your little
My trip.
beach trip? I was about to say bitch trip, but it was a bitch trip.
But so
Oh my gosh.
I've been doing some family counseling with my family. Things have gotten a little better. Not as much as I'd hoped, because distance is a great thing. So my mom's and mine's birthdays are pretty close together. And about a week after, oh no, it was the week of my birthday.
Yeah, it was.
They, yeah, it's breaks.
Yeah, gosh.
Sorry, we keep
They're
hearing
so loud. They're bad.
stuff outside.
Yeah.
And wondering if somebody's trying to break into our house. My mom and mine's birthdays are not that far apart, and they happened to plan a vacation for her birthday the week of my birthday, and I guess at some point between them saying, hey, we're gonna go here, we're gonna go to Florida and just enjoy your mom's birthday, they thought, let's invite the boys along. So they invited my brother, invited me, and I mean, it was not as bad as it would have been a couple of years ago, even last year.
I mean, that's progress.
They're just annoying. They, let's see, what was a few of the things that I had jotted down?
You titled it
Parental Infractions.
It was really funny.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you.
Jog your memory.
Oh, yeah. No, okay. So, I don't know if other people's narcissist parents or just other narcissists do this, but my parents argue with me about everything. Not my brother. No, they all tend to agree on stuff, but when it comes to me, I'm wrong every step of the way.
That sucks. That really sucks.
Yeah, even about, stuff that they would know nothing about that I've lived for the past couple of years, like parts of military life.
I'm gonna duck. I just don't want to, block your face.
Doing?
I'm grabbing beer.
Is it that? It's not that bad. Oh my gosh.
The more that I drink it, I'm just like, it's just not good. Just not good. Oh, yeah.
Whoa. You're not wrong.
Wait. This is a bottle opener, right?
Yes, but you have to go up and then down.
Oh, like that?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So you have to... How did I know that was gonna happen? That happens to you every time you open a beer.
Can I have a towel?
You were right by the towels.
How did I not?
It didn't get all over you though. It just splashed on your shoulder.
So surprised. So your parents were bitching the entire time.
Yeah.
Strain. Yeah, bottle opener. I know there's one over here.
There you go.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah, they weren't even bitching. They were just arguing. Like, I would bring something up and be like, oh yeah, this, that, or something about my school. And they'd be like, well, are you sure it's that way? Like, what if it's, what? I was like, guys, I just learned this, 3 days ago. Come on.
Yeah.
And it just makes you feel absolutely crazy. Like, am I really this bad at everything? Like, am I doing it wrong? Like, there's a reason why it's called crazy making.
Yeah.
And it's a tactic used to keep you, that narcissists use to not obviously belittle somebody that they deem that might be doing better, or that might be the alpha, or I hate that fucking term, but
Yeah,
it
me too.
applies.
Yeah.
And it's not fun. Oh, which is the second thing, is it makes you feel like they don't believe you can do anything. Like, even, and I've said this before, as a kid, I had friends that would come over to my house and observe the way my family worked. I mean, they weren't like in the corner just jotting down notes, but they would just happen to see the way we interacted as we were playing, or if they, come over for a play date or dinner or something. And I think it was around middle school when a couple of my friends, we were out in the backyard, and my dad had been talking to me about something. And then he went inside, and my friends kind of stopped just doing what we were doing. They're like, do your parents think you're stupid? Or an
That's so
idiot?
sad.
And I'm like, I think so. I mean, that's the way it feels. Like, it's bad enough that people notice. And then this is just I think, a boomer generational thing of just complain about everything.
It's not just bitching.
That is, yeah, my mom just bitches about everything. She will go to a restaurant and order something the exact way she would cook it. And even my brother at this point is like, Mom, if you want it that way, go home and cook it. Because you're ordering it from somebody who's cooking it differently than you. Well, I just like it this way. We go to a dive bar. It's like 9 o'clock at night. We haven't eaten dinner yet. And my mom wants good popcorn shrimp. Which, I mean, I can fuck with some good popcorn shrimp.
Sure.
But she asked the waitress, like, I'm really looking for some popcorn shrimp, but I really like good popcorn shrimp. I like
Tender
popcorn shrimp, and you can tell the waitress is just like, lady, shut up.
Oh my gosh.
She just went on about it for a couple of minutes with the waitress. And it's just stuff like that. Like all my injuries from doing what we did, sitting down, or just from my past come up, and I try not to take a lot of painkillers, but sometimes I have to. And my parents know about at least they're aware of all my injuries. I don't know if they know about them, but I'm sitting there asking for some ibuprofen or something, and my dad just stops, makes sure I stop, looks at me and says, you really got to start taking care of yourself. Like, do you know how I got this? I mean, I wasn't purposefully trying to do this to myself. And granted, I am in the middle of losing weight, so I'm not in the best shape ever.
But it's frustrating because you are on the path to try to be better. Like, you're going to physical therapy, you're doing those physical therapy exercises at home. Like, you're trying to eat better. Like, you're trying to work out every day. So, like, fuck off.
Yeah, and it's just I don't even...
Like, have some empathy.
I did kind of observe the fact that I don't think they're doing this on purpose. It doesn't seem like they think this thing, like, how can we make him feel bad today? It's just their thoughts, like their immediate thoughts. They're not actively trying to be malicious people. They don't know they're narcissists. Which, if you're never told you something, how could you? Or if you've never been to a counselor ever because you think that they're quote-unquote quacks, or the only one you know lost their license.
Yeah. Regardless of whether it's intentional or non-intentional, the effects are the same.
Yeah, and they have this weird thing of they can be empathetic. I mean, my whole family, I'm including my brother in this. But then there's this also blatant lack of empathy for others. In the fact that, like, so here's an example. We were talking about a friend who had passed away due to medical complications with a disease they were dealing with. And I'd say maybe 5 years later, her son took his life. And we're out in the middle of public, sitting, eating lunch. And my brother just stops and loudly says, "So how long ago did so-and-so shoot himself in the head?" And me having dealt with suicidal situations before,
So glad I wasn't there.
I almost jumped over that table and beat the fuck out
I
of
would have
him.
been right there with you,
I-
tag teaming it. Yeah, no, that's disrespect. That's
And
cruel.
so I stopped and I was like, and here's how I know I've grown, because usually I would
Yeah, you would get.
say anything,
Mm,
and I would also probably would have freaked out.
yeah.
But I was able to keep my brain from spiraling.
That's good.
And I also confronted it. I was like, "Hey, what makes you think that's an okay way to say that? Like, why would you say that?" And he just goes, "Well, because it makes it sound so much more intense." And I'm just like, "No, it makes it sound more disrespectful. Why would you say that about someone? He was a friend of yours." And he just stops, looks directly in my eyes and says, "Why?"
When did he shoot himself in the head?
Like, didn't even, and he's a pretty confrontational person, but
Yeah. I mean, it's the same exact thing with the N-word. I asked him not to say the N-word.
and so he says it 5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother's a dick. So yeah, that was my birthday week. Well, up until the day before. I got back the day before my birthday.
Well, what was the best part about the trip? What did you enjoy? Let's talk about what you enjoyed on the trip.
The water?
That's good. What was the temperature of the water?
I don't know. Nice.
I mean, was it cool? Was it warm?
It was nice.
It was nice. Nice for you.
I mean, I always enjoy walking around with
Yeah.
the sun and the humidity next to the water.
Yeah.
That's my happy place, is the ocean.
Good. I'm glad.
Which is where we're going this week.
Woo, we're going on a cruise, bitches. It's been a while since I've drank.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Hello. But I was able to realize how much I've grown as well, because not being around them a lot, I don't really get a litmus test of,
Yeah.
where is my reactions to these things? Do I be a pushover? Do I freak out? What do I do?
Yeah.
And I stood my ground
For
mostly.
you. Yeah, that's progress for you.
I mean, every now and
That's
then
huge.
I could feel my brain getting tired and I would just start to close in. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's so this past couple of months I've noticed growth, which has taken me years to notice.
Yeah. And that's, that's
That's the way it goes.
the way it goes.
It's
But it's
the long
so
game.
But it's so worth it though. Like even for with me, like if you were to ask me like a couple of years ago, like, hey, would you let Delta go on? Would you like let Delta go on a trip with his parents for a vacation? I probably would have been like, oh fuck no. But when you came back and I'm like, well, how do you feel like about going on a vacation again with them? You're like, oh, I don't know. And then I suggested like, well, if you want to go back on a vacation with them, maybe you just get your own room, your own accommodations, have that space so that you can try to enjoy your parents.
Yeah, and there were times when, because my parents' superpower is ignoring boundaries. Like just absolutely bullying through them.
Yeah. I was just thinking about what you told me about seeing your dad in the hallway.
Oh, gosh. So, my dad has this habit of walking around butt-ass naked. Like nothing. I don't have words. Don't. Even in high school, he would do this. And it wasn't in some weird... Back then, I didn't think it was that weird. I knew it was weird, but...
But you were used to it.
Right, I was
Right.
used to it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Now I'm not. And like it was nothing, like a day... Like 20 years has not passed.
It's just so
My dad just walks around naked in a house that's not even his. And it was just...
Or was he grossed out too?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I kind of blacked out.
Well, I don't know. I get it. Different cultures have different like views on nudity. But I personally would not. Even my own mother, I don't want to see her naked unless it's under an emergency situation. Then I'm like, it's an emergency situation. It's fine.
I feel like you would somehow still be able to avoid that. Like you would figure out.
I am a ninja.
You're a squirrel.
Yeah, I'm a squirrel. That's an even more accurate statement. I scroll my way things. I scroll around people, and I scroll my way out.
I did not follow that sentence at all.
Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
So how's your past couple of months been?
It's been busy. Got a new job. Started this week. It was a job, well, like a location that I wanted to be in, with a company that I wanted to be with. The job is a very important job. It's very
High level.
high level, lots of responsibility, and I'm kind of feeling, a fish out of water, imposter syndrome, but I'm trying to remember that I'm trainable. I do know some stuff.
Come here, girl.
Yeah.
I'll see myself out.
Not falling for that. I'm not that drunk, babe. Not that drunk. Yes, and I don't know, like, I feel like a lot of when we go to church, a lot of the sermons lately have been really kind of like speaking to me. And it's, of course it has to be like around my feelings with his parents and whatnot. And I don't hate them. I do dislike them very much. It's a very strong dislike. So I see that as progress. But I'm just trying to like get to myself I'm just trying to just support you. Be there for you. Even if it means I don't like it. Like, I was conflicted. Like, when you went on your trip, like, the human primal beast side of me was like, I hope he has a miserable time. But then, like, the logical, rational, like, loving me is like, well, I hope you have a good time. Like, I want you to have a good time. So it was kind of like this tug of war, and I just kind of had to, like, suppress my, like, negative feelings and just be like, it is what it is. Like, whatever, like, it's your life. I have my own boundaries that you struggle with, but you still have to respect. I don't know, like, I'm trying to prepare myself for the scenario that your parents do come around and do acknowledge that they're narcissists and that they are emotionally abusive and have conducted gaslighting. Like, I'm trying to trying to prepare myself for that moment so that I'm able to, like, receive that and be okay with that, because then the ball is in my court and I have to do my part to, like, pursue potentially what's the word, restorative relationship. I don't know. I don't know what maybe that's something
Restoration?
Yeah, it's something like that. I'm trying to think, maybe is the word that I'm thinking of, but it is just not sounding right out of my mouth. But I don't know. it would be tough. But if they're able to acknowledge that I need to like man up and like do my part and like come to the table and be like, okay, let's work on this relationship. But if there's no acknowledgement of like their actions, any ownership, then there's no point.
Yeah.
For my own mental health, because man, when I'm around him, like they bring out the absolute worst and I end up hurting myself, and it's not good. Which is why I've really tried to just keep distance as much as possible. But also trying to mentally prepare myself for that best case scenario.
Yeah.
You know, for you. Like, and for our relationship. So that's something I've been working on. Busy with job.
I've been
Transition.
trying to be busy with the job.
Yeah.
It's been... So I have transitioned into full trophy husband. Minus the stunningly good looks.
Oh, you're hot. This whole, like, backward hat to the tank top, it's hot.
Like, so everyday dose, that mushroom coffee stuff has, I'm convinced, done wonders. It took a bit to kick in, like maybe a month or so, for it to build up in my system enough to help. But I think like testosterone and stuff is helping too, because because for the longest time I was very afraid and a little ashamed of doing testosterone, because they're
worried about his hair.
That too, but mostly it was, I mean, I was using that very much as a guise for a little bit.
Okay, all right.
Stop drinking.
Why?
You're so judgy when you drink. You should have seen the face you just gave me.
All you talked about was like,
I know
I don't want
that
to lose my hair.
because I didn't want to come out and say, how much less of a man am I if I have to take this to be okay?
Babe, I didn't know that.
But now that I'm there, I'm thinking, wait, why haven't I done this sooner? And it's not like I'm so there's so much controversy surrounding testosterone replacement therapy, because a lot of people use it for bodybuilding. Obviously, I don't.
Yeah.
That's a insane dose that's not good for you. But at least from what I understand.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
In the right doses, once you figure out that magic area, it really like puts you where you've always supposed to have been.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my sluggish brain fog is gone. I can get up in the mornings and be like, all right, this is what I have to do, instead of sitting around for 3 hours trying to figure out what am I supposed to do today. So I'm in an adjustment period from, yes, I'm still in school, but during the summers, I'm not going to do school. My program doesn't have summers classes, so I'm just going to be working mostly on YouTube, Instagram, and all this stuff.
Pause.
Excuse me.
Do we want to double check that your phone is still recording?
Yeah. It means I have to move.
Because I just have this fear. I just want to make sure it's still recording.
Yeah, it's still going.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
It'll tell us.
Oh, really?
I think
Okay.
so. Because the Max has more storage than yours for the camera.
Oh. Okay.
And so I feel like I don't know, I call it my super soldier serum.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like I used to feel back when I was younger.
You seem so much happier. Minus like a few.
Sure.
Like today. Your doctor did say you're gonna.
It is.
You might have some weird moments.
most of that he said is you're gonna be horny like you were horny when you were 13 years old, and man, can I not stop thinking about boobs. It's weird. But
See,
yeah,
I thought that was normal.
no, I mean more so. Like even the word boobs looks like just 3 pairs of boobs to me.
Yeah.
I had to do math.
Yeah. But he did say it would kind of like mess with your
Yeah,
head.
it's gonna mess with your head for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I felt less, even on my just taking my anxiety and depression medication, it was always still there.
Hmm.
It was just way less. But now it kind of feels like it's fading back.
That's awesome. I'm so happy for you.
Like it was kind of a, I don't want to say like, I guess I could say it's like a fog. Like when it gets really bad, you can see nothing but the fog. Like there's no other option, so you panic because all you can see with anxiety is just
Yeah.
doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Depression, all you can see is there's no hope for a future. But if you get on medication, that fog gets less. And if you get the right dose, it gets way less. And you can kind of see through, but it's always still floating around you. And now I feel like I'm starting to step out of it.
I'm so happy for you.
It's still there. I don't know if it's ever really going to go away, but
We'll see.
I don't know, I just feel better. And more, I definitely have more confidence. I've
Yeah, you
seen
do.
that.
Yeah, you do. And you're like doing more things around the house and I don't even have to ask you. And it's like, it's so nice, especially because now like I'm going back to, instead of like remote work, I'm going back to a building. And it's just, I don't know. Like it's nice to feel like I have a partner again.
And there is, yeah.
Well, that's,
And there's a big stigma that I found mostly online, and probably because of online and social media, that don't tell anybody you're on TRT. They'll either think you're less of a man, or you're on it just because you want to get jacked and you don't actually need it, because social media is full of people that are doing things that they don't need to do. Like feign horrible anxiety because it's
Yeah.
the new lap dog,
Yeah.
or whatever. And now a whole bunch of fitness influencers and stuff are on TRT and God knows what.
I mean,
But
it should
you-
only be used like
and-
if your hormones
Right.
are.
But what I'm saying, that,
imbalanced.
especially since this month happens to be Men's Mental Health Month,
Yes.
guys, who the fuck cares? Don't go out there and just tell your doctor, give me TRT. Get tests done, test your hormones, try other things first, because it is kind of a permanent thing. But if there's no other options, don't be afraid to do it. I mean, it's been not that long, and I can already see it's changing my life.
Yeah, I honestly like the people that I listen to, like on YouTube, like podcasts and whatnot, like the people that have taken, or even ladies, like people whose hormones were imbalanced and they go and they get on treatment to make them balanced again. It's like a whole 180. And unfortunately in our healthcare system, especially in the military, like no one cares about your hormones.
No.
That's not the first thing that they look. Oh, you're feeling depressed. Okay, well, let's look at your work environment. Let's look at all these
They don't
factors.
even say that. They
But
just say, here's a pill.
Yeah, here's a pill. But I wish that they would prescribe hormone testing on a regular basis. I wish that was a thing across the board.
Yeah.
Because it really, like, your hormones regulate your mental health to a huge, it's a huge factor. I wouldn't say it's the only factor, but it's a huge factor in your mental health, in your physical, like how you feel, well-being. Like it is a huge thing, and I'm just starting this journey, and so watching you kind of like feeling better, like I'm so happy for you.
If you ask me, if as long as you're not abusing it or doing it the safest way you can, guided by a medical professional that is a specialist in that field, not
Yeah.
just any
Yeah.
willy-nilly professional. They will not tell you that they don't know what they're talking about. I don't know if many of you have been through this, but the one part of your healing journey from childhood trauma or any trauma is grieving the person that you could have become in a better, more loving scenario, more nurturing, more supportive, more caring, less violent scenario. And you never stop grieving that. It's always there. Or at least it's there for a long time. And it'll always come back up. But when we're able to optimize ourselves mentally and physically, which I'm obviously still working on. Everybody should always be working on it.
Excuse me.
Hormones play a bigger part in our mental health than any doctor would like to tell us.
Yeah.
And they're still making discoveries on how they affect our mental health. But once you start optimizing all this stuff, you really, at least in my experience, I can't speak for anyone else, but you start to feel like you're becoming the person that you should have been. Like you may not have to grieve that forever. You may actually become that. And that's the best feeling for me, is knowing that I have a choice to be something else besides broken. That's the most powerful part of it for me, is that choice. Or that realization.
That's awesome. I've been lately, I find myself kind of going down memory lane and down some really not pleasant, embarrassing memory lanes, some of which like I would like to get into on like a separate episode when we talk about like my missionary experience in South Africa. Because there are definitely some things that like I've said that I'm like absolutely ashamed of. And I look back and I'm just like, ugh, and I just cringe when I think of like those moments. But I have to like, I used to have a really bad habit of like dwelling on those memories, like bad, like hard. Like I would go like days, maybe even weeks just dwelling on these memories and like feeling really bad about myself. But lately, when I have those, like when I tend to go down memory lane and I just think like, you know, if I could tell those people, like if I still had their number or whatever, and we had a conversation, like I would totally love to like apologize to them and say like what I said was not cool, like what I did was not cool. I could try to explain like my like what led into it, but at the end of the day I still said those things and I still made those choices. And today, like, and I just have to remember that like I am not the person that I was back then. Like I'm striving to be a better person every single day, and I would not trade. And I think a large part of it has to do with like meeting you, going to the military, and kind of going through what we go through to really like I am proud of myself. I'm proud of who I am. And I just, want to get better like every single day. And just try to like hit those goals. Like, hey, maybe I try to be more sympathetic or empathetic. Maybe I'll try to be more patient towards people that are not you. Because God knows I've had to be really, really patient. Some days It's there, and sometimes it's not.
Well, this went from 20 minutes to an hour.
Oh,
and a half,
shit.
So
Yeah. But yeah, I just, when you were talking about like kind of mourning who you were and what you could have been, mine's kind of like
I was wondering where you were
the opposite.
going, where that came. Okay,
Yeah.
now I get it.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is
Sorry.
not the same topic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I just didn't understand where it was coming from, but now I do.
But yeah, we're going on vacation next week, so stay tuned for a video. We're gonna do like some fun little challenges on the ship.
Yeah. This should be out the week we're on the ship, so next week or today for you.
Yeah, that's right. Time warp.
And I didn't think we had gone through so much in the past month or two.
I mean, gone through so much.
Well, I mean, because when you said let's do an update thing, I was like, why?
It's been a
Now I
hot
get it.
minute.
Yeah.
Hot minute. Yep.
Yeah.
But I think after we get back from the cruise, things will
Find a path.
We will find
Rhythm.
a rhythm again. So
yeah. And we'll be back
just
in the studio at some point. Now we're just doing
this was just easy.
Yeah.
So easy and fun. So.
What? I mean. Can't turn my neck that far. One last thing before we go. I think another really big factor in me getting to where I am is not being in a job that I hated.
Well, yeah.
You'd be surprised how, well, you were on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how unaware a lot of people are that it affects you that much.
If you are dreading going to work,
don't go to work. Well, go to work.
I mean, go to work.
But find a different work to go to.
Yes.
Find a different path.
Look, y'all, life is too short.
Yeah.
Do what you love, but find a way to pay the bills with it.
Yeah. And if you need help doing that, or if you just want somebody to talk to while you're trying to figure this out, join the crew. Because that's all we do. We're here for you guys. We know you're here for us. And that's why we're doing this, is to create a community that is there for each other, even though we may not physically be close. To get out, adventure, heal in your own adventures, because, as we all know,
adventure is healing.
Now fuck off.